Hi, get ready to correct that whip.
All right, here we go, Eric. So I'm gonna just do one quick think, Bob, and it's gonna be proportional. So I'm giving you the table, and you can pause it and do it, or if you're not getting this still, you can just watch me. Anyways, so here's your, it's going up by 3, and this is going up by 2 every time. So it's a constant rate of change, and it's proportional. 3 over 2 equals 6 over 4. That's what a proportion is. When a fraction equals a fraction, it's just times 2 times 2. So your words would be Bob has $0 to start with, because it's 0, 0, and he saves $3 every 2 days, or he saves $1.50 a day. And he saves $3 every 2 days. All right. Your equation, y equals mx plus b. This is the equation you're going to get used to in the future, where that's the slope and that's y-intercept, which is your rate of change, which is just going to be 3 over 2, which is your change in y over change of x. But if it's proportional, you can just do y equals kx. K stands for your constant proportionality, or your rate of change. And so your equation is just y equals 3 over 2x. You could say, plus 0. But anyways, if it's proportional, the line's going to go through the origin. You can see the line goes through the origin, and you know the line goes through the origin because Bob has nothing. And so graphing it, well, here's your origin. And if I go over 2 up 3, here's my next point, and that's all you need. You only need 2 points to graph a line. Here's over 2 up 3. There's your slope, which is rise over run, which is 3 over 2, which is your rate of change. And when you have a fraction equal to fraction, that's proportional. If it's proportional, it's a line that goes through the origin. So what's a proportion? It's when a fraction equals a fraction, or when you have equivalent ratios. Rate is a fraction with different units. A ratio is a fraction with no units. And if it's proportional, you don't need the plus and your minus anything, because it's plus 0. And that's your rate of change. Anyways, so there's that. We'll kind of keep pounding away at that. So here's kind of everything for this lesson here. My just fraction, decimals, percent. And so this is the easiest one. A half is 50 cents, 0.5. And how do you change a percent to a decimal? You move it 2 to the right. And how do you change a decimal to a percent? You move it 2 to the left. Right? If you can read it, you can write it. Anyways, this is 13 hundredths, so you should be able to write 13 hundredths. And percent actually means means divide by, cent means 100. It actually means divide by 100, or out of 100. This is 13%. You move it over 2, or just read it. That's 13%, that's 13%, that's 13%. 7 hundredths, you could write 7 over 100, and then move it over 2, that's 7%. Read it, that's 1 and, that's a mixed number, that's 1 and 25. Isn't that just 1 1/4? And move it over 2, that's 125%. And then if you give you the percent, you just move it over 2. That's 0.81, which is 81 over 100. That's 81 over 100, or read it, that's 81 hundredths. Now this is 1/4%. This is less than 1%. This is 0.25%. And you move it over 2. So you gotta add a couple zeros in front of that. And that's going to be 25 tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10 thousandths. That's 25 10,000ths. And I'm going to divide by 5, call that 5 over 2,000 divided by 5 again, that'd be 1 over 400 would be my fraction. And you could have done it the easy way here. If this is 1/4 divided by 100 over 1, which is 1 over 4 times 1 over 100, and you just multiply and you get 1 over 400, because you take whatever the percent is and you divide it by 100 and just flip and multiply. That'd be another fast way you could have done it. Anyways, so there's it. So I'm gonna do the checkpoints. So I'd like you to pause and try and do the checkpoints, and then or whichever way you want to do it, or just kind of watch me do them or whatever. But anyways, here's checkpoint number 1. These problems right here on page 265. So write each percent as a fraction. Well, that's just going to be 8 over 100, which is 4 over 50, which is 2 over 25. Number 2, 12.5%, which is 12.5 over 100, which is 125 over 1,000, which is 25 over 200, which is 5 over 40, which is 1 over 8. I just kind of go sideways and just keep asking easy questions I can answer. So that's going to be 3n 65 hundredths. I can divide each of these by 5. So that's 3n 13 20ths. Number 4, here, I'll do it this is 2/3 divided by 100 over 1, which is going to be 2/3 times 1 over 100. Remember, you just flip and multiply. Here I can divide each of those by 2. That's 50. And so I just get 1 over 150 for number 4. Number 5. That's true. 41% is 0.41. Number 6 is false because you only moved it one place. And number 7 is false because you only moved it one place. All right. Number 8, write each as a decimal. So write 60%. Oh, well, you just move it over 2. That's 0.6. Number 9. That was 13.25%. So when you move it over 2, you get 0.1325. Number 9. And number 10, move it over 2, that's 1 and 53 hundredths. Right? So there's checkpoint number 1. Checkpoint number 2, write each decimal as a percent. So here I'm going to turn the page and run out of room. So you're just going to move it over 2. So that's going to be 54%. Number 2, move it over 2. That's 0.9. Number 3, move it over 2. That's 230. Oh, percent, sorry. Percent. How do you change a decimal to percent? You move it 2 to the right. Number 4, move it over 2, so that's 53.5%. Number 5, that's going to be 107%. And number 6, that's going to be 1130. So that's 1,130%. So anyways, percents to decimals, you just move it over 2. Remember, if you have this chart, if you have this, half, 0.550, decimals to percent, it's 2 to the right, percents to decimals, 2 to the left. And read it, write it. I mean, that's 5/10, that's 13 hundredths. Once you have the decimal, or just stick it over 100. Stick it over 100. All right, Your last checkpoint here, write each fraction as a percent. So a couple ways you could do this. If you just know the decimal, 4/5, that's 0.8, that's 8/10, so that's going to be 80%. Number 2, 3/25. Here, I'll do equivalent, I'll do proportions. Isn't that just going to be times 4? So times 4, that's going to be 12%. Number 3, 43/100, just double. That's 43/50, that's 86/100. So that's just going to be 86%. I can just do that in my head, that's too easy. Okay, use proportions. And so number 4 here, so here, 15/10, I'm gonna, you wanna write it as a percent? Oh, well, let's just get to 100. That's just times 10 times 10, that's 150. So that's 150%. That's just times 10 times 10. Number 5, 12 divided by 3 equals 4, so that's 400%. Right, as, oh, here I have to write it as a proportion. Okay, well, I'd call that 4/1 equals 400/100. Number 6, 1/200 equals 1/2/100. So that's just going to be 0.5%. And number 7, the last one here, 2/3. So 2/3 equals, I'll say n/100. So here, I'll actually solve it here. Equals n/100. So you get 3n equals 200, cross multiply, 3n equals 200, and divide both sides by 3. So n equals 66 and or 66.6 repeating percent, or you can call it 66 2/3%. Oh, and you should know 2/3 is just 0.6 repeating. I put it down that way. 2/3 equals 6/9, so it's 0.666 repeating forever. So it's 66.6 repeating percent. Anyways, there you go. Love you, Eric.